I'm not going to do this right, just so you know. You're probably like, fuck you, Savage
Welcome
Insomniac
to our perfect
Radio.
cooking.
Well, I don't blame you for saying that. Anyway, this is a gelling that we did of the psyllium husk. How many grams of water? 400 grams
400
of water.
grams of water, 20 grams of psyllium, 12 grams of apple cider vinegar, and I believe it was, oh God, it was a teaspoon of honey.
Yeah.
I don't know the gram amount.
A teaspoon of honey. And then in there.
And here, 200 grams of Teff, 200 grams of starch. We use potato starch. You can also use tapioca.
Potato starch, though.
It's supposed to be, it's softer if you use potato starch, so I'd recommend it. 8 grams of this. You can also use active dry yeast, but it takes more. I think it's like 20 grams. I could potentially link the recipe down below if
You
I can
probably
remember.
will, unless we don't.
And then with that, you also put 12 grams of salt, and that's actually it.
So, I mean, we will try to put this recipe, because it's just going to be a link. So you put this all into your mixer. She knows what she's doing.
We're using this mixer because our arms don't have the strength to
we're tiny.
And
we're not saying you're not or that you are. Anyhow, so we got this gelled up. You can see that it really is. It looks like malto meal. If your gel, and I don't eat wheat, that's what makes that so weird, but it looks like malto meal. It really does to me. Maybe it doesn't. Anyway, we're going to put it in there, and then we're going to start mixing. How long does it get mixed?
Well, she just herself hand mixes to incorporate it, so I'm going to mix it till it's incorporated how I have seen it. It will probably be a couple minutes.
Okay, so wait till it's incorporated. I'm not going to have this on the whole time.
And we'll probably pause it because this is noisy when it's
Yeah, it's going to be obnoxious, so you don't want to hear it. I know. I flipped off a number, but I will let you see the beginning part of it. Let me just go around her a little bit here. And I'm like trying to help people who are gluten-free, even if it doesn't seem like it, because I'm not putting recipes up there yet. I'm trying to actually have brain power, because right now I'm not doing well. I'm fatigued and I'm in benzodiazepine withdrawal. Okay, just to kind of, I just want you to see it, a little bit here. Actually, it's not too loud.
Yeah, I probably make it loud.
Okay, so you guys got the general idea. I'll try to come back. I'm going to pause this. Okay, so
to the spatula, but I expect
we think it's like 2 or 3 minutes that went around, but you'll know because when it does that, it's going to look a little more dough-like, like Play-Doh-like, in consistency. I try to give it consistency because it's really annoying if there isn't one.
Play-Doh is an accurate consistency.
I made a lot of Play-Doh in my life. Honestly, I made more Play-Doh than I did anything else. But I did make a lot of Rice Krispie treats. When I was pregnant, I had an entire thing of Rice Krispie treats per sitting. Now I don't even want to put a teaspoon of coconut palm sugar in there, which contains honey, which contains like maybe 6 grams of sugar. Or coconut palm sugar, if I put a teaspoon of it in there, it would literally have like, oh God, I don't even know actually, like 4 divided by 3.
Yeah, a teaspoon of the honey we have currently is somewhere about 6 or 7 grams.
But I will say this little sugar girl, when I was making jam, they wanted me to put a cup of sugar in there. I was like, oh, hell no. And I had at least as much jam as it would fill this bowl. And I said, I will put sugar into it until it's somewhat sweet. And my ex, actually, he wanted to have, more sugar in it. But my daughter, she was like, oh, yeah, it's pretty good as it stands. And I think it was 1/8 of a cup of sugar total in a gigantic pan. It was bigger than this pan, actually, but it didn't come all the way to the top. Anyway, there it is.
I just did a little shaping with the spatula.
So
you could probably do more than that. I'm just
in previous attempts at this, we actually did not use psyllium husk because we were opposed to it.
So the consistency was completely different.
It was very runny. And it still worked. And honestly, if you don't want to use psyllium husk, Well, I would have to go over that whole thing because you have to substitute egg at that point or egg white.
We have a recipe. We just need
Yeah.
to kind of write it down.
And honestly, the recipe that we have, I really like it because even though it's very, very dry, and when I say dry, I cannot understate how dry it is. And that I will go right up to it, cut it, eat it dry, and I'll be like, I don't care if it hurts my throat. But when you make French toast with that other bread, it is the best French toast. Sarah and I, when we ate that, we eat it all. But we tried to make a sourdough bread, and we kind of screwed up on, I can't remember which part of it was. Oh, yeah, we didn't, was it the gelling of the psyllium husk, Sarah?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and so we didn't do that properly, and so our dough didn't make right, and so it was really good. It was a lot softer. I really liked it, but it didn't quite taste right because of the lack of gelling of that. So follow it this way, and then you'll have a good bread, and then wait for the secondary video when we're not tired.
I'm going to put it in line this with parchment paper. I believe I have some around here, but I probably
I'm going to pause
be on
this. We're going to line that with parchment paper, and then you'll see the next
I'm just going to let it
part.
rise in here. It might actually, this is a smaller Dutch oven, so it may rise beyond what it can hold. But we've also even cooked the bread without the lid on.
We have also discussed, not that you guys need to know
we've
this,
also
but
discussed using
taking some of this out of here, huh?
Yeah.
So we might have to do that.
I'm going to gauge once I get it all into this parchment line.
Sorry that you may not know what we're talking about. So when we put this in here with the parchment paper, that lid goes on that at some point. And so when that happens, it can actually run into the lid. But we don't have the other Dutch oven. Okay, that was me complaining. I'm going to pause this now. So just kind of, because I want to show how doughs behave. So when we do this without the psyllium husk, yeah, no can do what she's doing.
You just pour it into here, straight in.
Because it's liquidy.
And actually,
if you've ever done experiments with potato starch or cornstarch and water, it kind of does some of that action.
The gel really acts as a binder in this too, because I don't really have much dough on my hands for handling this.
And that's why I'm showing it. And
there's those couple spots.
And so, you know, like some people can't have xanthan gum. Some people can't even have egg.
Yeah, for those that like have an allergy to xanthan gum that they know for sure that they do, or they just like to avoid it, this is the bread to try.
Yeah, and then if you can't have egg, I mean, we do one with egg. It's, you know, you could probably substitute some vegan stuff, but, you know, it's nice to be able to have what your diet allows for. And if you're vegan, I was vegan for years, and I wish I could. I'm working on it, you know, and vegetarian. But realistically, like, it is actually important. So anyway, okay, we're gonna...
So what I'm gonna do, since I don't know how much this rises, I'm gonna do what another person we've found recently does to cover her stuff when she's rising, which is literally just loosely cover it with a towel.
Yeah, and if you don't have this type of towel, have somebody cut up some old 70s towels for you and then stitch them along the edge. And we were lucky enough. So her grandma did that for us. So I'm not saying she thought it was attractive, but it really makes the bread taste better. Okay, it doesn't, but it could have, and you would have believed me. Maybe
they've served us a lot, as you can see.
Yeah, they really have. They used to be blue. Remember when that was blue, that green? Yeah. Okay, it wasn't. All right, so we're gonna stop this now because it has to rise for quite a while.
Yeah,
how long is it rising?
It will rise for about 1 hour or until it rises somewhere between half or 2/3 of the size.
So we'll be back in an hour. This is gonna be one hell of a long video.
I'll tell this much because I don't know if this will end.
It will.
It will unless and it will either be in a part 2 or clipped together. I don't know. Once this rises, you're going to put it in the oven and start it when it's in the oven, because it's called a cold start. And it continues to rise as the oven is heating up before it starts the whole baking process. So there you are. I don't think this is going to stay on because... Probably not. It's going to be an hour. It goes to sleep, the screen, right? Mm-hmm. So it will stop, but you know... There'll probably be a part 2. There will be.